asked, how do we load all this stuff, especially these logs over there that are ready to go on the sawmill, except the one that the second one, that one's a little wonky. So, because it was a wonky base over there, so I had to get in there somehow so it didn't fall on me. But how do we load it? Well, we load it simply with the tractor here, because I could get a hook and actually dangle it off at all times, but these forks do have a use. They sure don't have a use going out and picking it up, because all of a sudden if I hit the teeniest rock, those things move. So they have a use here somewhat, but other than that, because this tractor, I don't know what it's rated at, especially on height and you know how much weight that you can hold legitimately. If I feel like I'm going to tip over, I'm going down, so I'll push the bucket down. So here in a minute we'll load it up and show you how it works. You got to always check before you load it on there. Where's my log stops? Because I already did it once, where it rolled off onto the log deck and just rolled over here. Then I had to strap it and pick it up and bring it back over. So yeah. Anyways, that's one of the mistakes. So what I do is getting ready to cut the cedar. I line it up to where I know this is going to be higher and it's not going to touch down there, because this is a bigger end of the log. So what I'm going to do is skim it off, and I drop it down every half inch until I get it to where it's all squared out. So you'll see here in a minute. Your 9" by 9.5" block of wood. Actually, that could be a beam if I wanted to make a beam. Mm-hmm. But each 1.5 inches, so we can, so you take 5.5 inches Then if I do 1.5 inches off of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cool thing is I'm able to cut 2x6. Find a use for everything. So, and I changed my mind as I was doing this. I'm like, I need steps into the dry cabin. Guess what? These big old 1-inch pieces. That's what these are. These are big 1-inch pieces here. And that's a 1-inch. So, basically, those are cool steps. They're big. So, and I got some different types of woods that I'm going to use. It was a little shorter than 2x6, but at 5.5 inch. So I'm going to use those as the frame, so that way we can make steps going up.
Cool. Because I struggle getting up on that thing.
What?
It's tall. I said I struggle getting up into the dry cabin because it's so tall.
Yeah,
it's like half my, half the size of me.
Yeah, so got a lot of cuts out of that, which was nice so far. So now it's just cutting these down to 2x6s. That's what I mainly need. So 6 more 2x6s, bam. So, and got plenty more logs to cut 2x6s out of too. So we got enough out of this one and the other one, which would give me 4 out of the next one. So that's 10 2x6s that I didn't have that was free because I didn't have to pay taxes. I didn't have to go waste gas. Well, I wasted gas coming here. But other than that, I always say it's just free. So it's one of the things, and if you're eager to homestead, you got to think about, okay, well, what entails the homesteading? Well, doing everything yourself. Can't rely on anybody but yourself. So me, guess what was ingrained in me when I was a kid? Rely on yourself to get it done. For my grandpa, my papa. So, I mean, he taught me my work ethics, how to pull weeds, you know, simple things like that. Well, it's not that simple because you got to knock all the dirt out of the weed before you even chuck it in the thing. Trust me, I've heard all about it. I remember that, how to properly pull weed, because you don't want all the dirt that you pulled this big weed out of, and all of a sudden you got this little gopher hole. Come on. So, common sense tells you listen to your grandparents. And luckily I was raised by mine. Other than that, I mean, we have an ample amount of wood on this property. It's not I don't think we'll build everything here, but the cool thing is we'll be able to call a logging company and say, bring me a load of logs. You know, I know you guys are up in the area, drop them off. I got you. So pretty much that's it. I mean, you got to take your time. Just like learning this machine, everybody's so worried. Be careful, be safe. be this, be that. Dude, I'm just gonna be me and just run it. Just do it. So, 9" by 9.5. I didn't want to take off too much more, even though that's an edge almost, but that's fine. Nothing like a planer could take off if I wanted to, but the cool thing is everything's rough cut around here, and it's going to look unique because it blends in. So other than that, I'll leave you on that note. That's how we load a log, put it on the sawmill, chop her down, and now all I get to do is create 2x6s and 2x3s. So, or it might be I don't know. We'll see what I get. I need what they call sticklers, which are next to Sharon there on the camera, which actually will go between the wood so they could dry out evenly. Everything can dry out. So it goes in every 16 inches or so. So that way the boards don't do the warpy and all that funky jazz. So just like the funky jazz of people using wedges to follow a tiny tree that's not even 16, 18-inch round. Dude, this thing's 22-inch round. And I dropped this tree without, no problem. So, just takes little, I'm not the best. I just use my brain. Then the peanut gallery over there, the chipmunk is just like I don't even know where to even start with.
It moved though. It was over here, so it got tired of the sawmill and went over there.
No, that's his cousin.
Oh.
So the problem is his family's coming now. And they're all coming out. Hibernation and yeah. But I don't think we'll have bears over here very much because of all the noise. So all I know is I got to tend with that chipmunk. And he was arguing with me earlier because there was too much smoke going in his direction. It's like I can control the smoke. It's bad enough I can't even control my own wife.
That is for sure.
So other than that, we'll leave you with that. Have a beautiful weekend. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, whatever, follow, share, whatever you want to do. Show your grandma, say, hey, grandma, you know, how come you didn't teach me this type of stuff? I know one grandma that's pretty tough, and her name's Tracy, and I won't use their last name, so for privacy reasons, and she's a pretty tough grandma. I bet you she's teaching her grandkids a lot of stuff. So there's a bunch of grandmas out there and grandpas that are pretty tough.
Yeah, Stephanie's another one.
Oh, Stephanie? Yeah. No, there's no denying it. She's the queen of hard. She's tough cookie. You gotta appease her. You appease a red-headed woman, you got life in the freaking nutshell. It basically, they claim you as husband, no matter you're technically not, because once you appease them, you could be the vendor actually, but they'll just call you a husband, the second husband, or whatever they call it. So, which is kind of, it works out. I mean, as long as you got in good graces with a redhead, your life is peachy.
Especially when it's your wife.
Yeah, well, my own life, I won that over. That's a whole different story. Put it like this: if you go on a date and you expect to meet your future wife, and she tells you, you know, you're not her type. Yeah, see, now my phone's even telling me everything's messed up. Yeah, so that's another story in itself. Maybe I'll tell that one day. So
we should tell that, but I should be in the picture with you
no.
instead of me behind the camera.
No, you'll ruin it.
I will not. I'll laugh.
No, I just know that day was funny. I thought of nothing else of it and just moved on. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not your type. Fine. Yeah, year and a half later, guess what? Hey, we got matching rings. But anyways, have a great weekend. right, everybody, sorry to ramble, but yeah, this is how we do it. I mean, I'm quite content, especially with Woodland Mills, and very affordable. Well, affordable, very affordable, because God has actually blessed us enough. So, and just to keep us going, and I guess my biggest thing is, all last year I kept wanting a sawmill. I couldn't get one. It would have been way later in the year, in like the middle of November, December, I would have gotten it, or possibly this year. Well, the funny thing is long story short, January I ordered it, January 27th, got it 2 weeks later.
Order in winter.
So we know how God works. He didn't want me to have it because that wasn't the property, and I learned that. So, yeah, we'll leave it like that.